Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will describe to you a beautiful bag model whose model belongs to a famous brand. You can use it as a beach bag or a daily bag. It is incredibly easy to make. I am sure that even those who start knitting for the first time can easily make such a model. We will knit a motif. We will have completed our bag with side bellows and handles. I tried to share all the details with you step by step in the video. It was a really nice project. I hope you will like it and try it. Before moving on to our detailed recipe, I would like to make a small request from you. You can subscribe to our channel for free if you like the video and leave your comments. I would be really happy. Let's move on to the recipe. Spaghetti for my bag tomorrow, I used sealing cotton thread. Look, the content of the thread I used is 70% cotton, 130 polyester. It weighs 50 grams. It is 130 meters long. Here I used 3 cream, green, brown threads. Here I used soft yellow, pink, and blue balls. Look, the thread I used is 50 grams. There is slim cotton plus yarn, which has exactly the same content but is thicker and has more grammage, so the content of both of them is exactly the same, only their thickness is different, their weight is different. If you want your bag to be bigger, you can choose slim cotton plus. Since I didn't want it to be too heavy, I chose this 50-gram slim cotton rope. You can choose both ropes. It is also worth mentioning this. But if you are going to work on a bag with such cotton threads, I would definitely recommend you to use Spaghetti Pain's slim cotton thread. The quality is truly amazing, and I think it suits the bag very well. Look, I want to show you its texture closely. Look, we need 2 square large motivators for our bag here. The diameter of this motif I prepared is 36 centimeters. If you want to enlarge or reduce the size of it, you can adjust it as you wish. Look, the front is like this and the back is like this. It is really magnificent with this rope. These types of bags have 2 handles. I knitted them with brown and prepared them. We also have a side gaiter. Look, we have a long side gaiter in this one. I want to share the size of the side bellows with you right away. I will share the size of the side bellows here, but it may be too little or too much. How do I adjust it? I will share it with you while I place it in my bag. If we say it in 2 layers, it has a measurement of 1 meter. In other words, it is 100 centimeters wide and 10 centimeters long. You can adjust its hand length according to your own measurement. I want to measure the width and 3 centimeters of the suit and share it with you. In this piece, I will share with you in detail the question we asked now. Look, the length of our handle is 68 centimeters. You can adjust this to the length of your handle you want. It doesn't have to be knitted handles. You can also use ready-made stems. Different handles can also be preferred. First, we will start by knitting our motif. Look, I want to show you the texture of my rope up close. The crochet number I used is 3 mm. You can determine your crochet number according to the thinness and thickness of your own yarn and the tightness and looseness of your knitting. Your threads do not have to all be the same brand. You can also use your leftover yarn at home in this project. We start with the magic ring. If there are beginners among us, I have previously shared a detailed video on how to make a magic ring. I will add the link to the description section of our video. You can access it by clicking there. After creating our magic people in this way, look, we have a chain that we have drawn here. 2, 3 chains. We will accept 1 handrail in these 3 chains. I fill it. I removed a loop by sinking into the ring. You have 3 loops. I wrapped them both together again. I created a double handrail by knitting them together. I wrapped them again, sinking into the ring and removing the loop and making a double handrail. We are knitting a handrail. We are preparing it in this way by knitting a total of 16 handrails, including the chain at the beginning. We have knitted 16 handrails together with the chain. Here we close the middle part by pulling the short rope remaining from the magic ring to the point where we can pull it. Then we leave the chained point at the beginning. We sink to the top of the first handrail we knitted. We put it on the crochet because we want to hide it with the short rope. From this point we remove the loop and shift. Look, since this shifting point remains on the chain, we will have 16 points with this shifting. Now we go up again with 3 chains, but I will not count the 3 chains as handrails here. I'm filling up. Look, I'm coming and knitting 2 double handrails on top of the first handrail. One, that is, I sink again to the top of the first handrail, we slide. I am knitting 2 handrails. Look, since the sliding point here is a handrail point where we will sink, this chain will boil in between. That's why I don't accept this chain as a handrail. Now we started with 16 handrails. Meanwhile, knit 2 double handrails on each of them, that is, double sinking. In total, I will knit 32 double handrails in the second row. Now let's continue until the end of the row. We have come to the end of our turn. See last point, we knit 2 double handrails at the point where the sliding point is, and we created a total of 32 handrails in this way. Look, we did not accept chain handrails. Now, after sinking to the top of the first handrail, removing the loop and shifting it, we tighten this point with a chain. And now we will cut our rope enough and remove it from our loop like this. Now we will continue with another color. Look, I started 2 rows here with brown, just like in the original. Actually, there was orange among the colors. But since I didn't have orange, I used pink here. You can make it with the colors you want. They don't have to be the same colors. I bought another color. I immediately create a loop with a chain. I wrapped it around the head of my hook. See here. Look, after the first chain I started here, I sink to the top of the first railing. I removed the noose. I am knitting a double handrail. I put both of them together and this short rope. Look, because I want to knit it by hiding it, I create a double handrail by knitting them together again. I'm filling up. I came to the same gap and wrapped another double handrail. I come to the same gap and knit the third handrail. Look, there are 3 handrails in the same space. Let's straighten our ropes. There is no chain in between. I wrap it directly at the beginning of the crochet hook, skipping a single handrail and sinking to the next handrail. We have hidden the threads here enough. I am knitting 3 handrails again. Look, I left a gap and I am knitting 3 double handrails in the next gap. I want to show it like this. I wrap it around again, leave a gap and sink into the next one and knit 3 double handrails again. In this way, we will have 16 triple handrail groups in total. Now let's continue like this until the end of the row. We have completed our row. We have knitted 16 triple handrail groups in total. Look, we have one last gap left between the 2 handrail groups. Now we take off the stitch by sinking to the top of the first handrail we knitted and slide it from the other stitch. At this point we make a stitch. We come to the same gap by making 2, 3, 4 chains and wrapping them around the head of our crochet hook. Look, we are making a loop by sinking into the wide space where we scroll. We knitted the first new single handrail by knitting 2 together and 2 together. We went around again. We knitted a triple handrail by sinking into the same space, removing the stitches and knitting the first 2 stitches together, then the 2 stitches together. There are no chains between them. We are filling up. Look inside the next group of 3 handrails. We're sinking into that wide gap over there, and we knit 3 double handrails, both together, both together. We sank again. Second double handrail. We dipped again and knitted our third double handrail point. Then we will cut those short strings and clean them. Look, 3 triple banisters. Now we have knitted 3 double handrails. We fill it next. Look, we sink into the wide gap between the banisters and knit 3 double handrails. We wrapped it 1, 2, 3. We sink into the next gap. Look, we will always work on these intermediate points. I knit 3 double handrails again. 1, 2, 3. We fill it. Now since we will create the corner here, we knit 3 triple handrails, just like we did here. We will knit the principal single 2 together. We wrap the 2 together, sinking into the same space, the principal single 2 together, the 2 together. We knitted 3 triple handrails. Now, since this is the corner, we draw 2 chains. Look, we started round. Now we will continue our motif as a square. After the 2 chains, we will make a corner again, coming to the same slot and making 3 triple banisters. We are knitting 3 triple handrails, 1, 2, 3, 3. Look, we have created our corner. We are filling it. We skip the next triple handrail and sink into the wide gap, and we are knitting 3 double handrails in this gap. At this point, we knit 3 double handrails again in the next space, 3 double handrails again in the next space. At this point, there are 3 double handrail groups. Look, think about it this way. That's the corner. This is the corner. 1, 2, 3 groups. 1, 2, 3 groups. Now we will create the corner. How did we create the corner? We're filling up. Look, we are knitting 3 of the triple handrails again, which we put on the triple handrail and sink into the wide gap and climb out once, twice, 3 times, 2 chains for the corner. We knit our 3 handrail groups again by sinking into the same gap. Look this way. We have created our corner point. We have 3 triple handrails in the corners, 2 chains, 3 triple handrails, then 1, 2, 3, 3 double handrail groups in triples. These are like this. Now we will continue until the end of the row by giving the square form like this. We have come to the end of the row, which we will share with you right away. Look, after making our triple handrail group, we will now create the corner. At the beginning, 4 chains, 3 double handrails. We knitted 2 triple handrails. Now we come to the same space. We are knitting our 3 triple handrail points, and look, we have created the corner and the 4th corner. Now we are pulling 2 chains here. Without touching the 3 chains, we sink to the top of the first handrail we see, remove the loop, slide it and pull a chain, then cut our rope inside and remove it from our loop. Look, we have completed this row in this way. Now we have one. We will move to our other hand. Look, just after knitting the round shape, we give it a square form. Meanwhile, we only knitted a triple handrail. In the other rows, these corners are completely double handrail. That is, the whole consists of double handrail. I used triple handrail here so that it would not be too distorted while turning the round square. Now I will take another color again. We start by creating a loop with a chain. Let's start from any corner by wrapping it around the beginning of our crochet hook. Look, we are sinking into a gap of 2 chains. Let's get this short rope in right now. We knit 3 double crochets. From now on, the corners will be knitted as double handrails. We knit our 3 points again. We jump 3 handrails and sink into the wide gap and knit 3 handrail points again. We create it, we circle it, look, we sink to the next point and knit 3 handrail groups. Continuing in this way, look, we will knit our triple handrail groups. There is no chain in between. We continue until the corner point. When I start, I always start with a triple banister like this. At the end, I knit 3 handrails here and pull 2 chains as I showed you below and finish here. I continue like this as I finish the row. Now look at the triple banister groups. There are no chains between them. We form our triple handrail groups by sinking into the wide gaps between the handrails. When we come to the space of 2 chains, there are 3 double handrails. We knit 2 chains again and 3 handrail points in the same space. And then we continue. We jump into 3 groups of handrails, sink into the wide gap and knit 3 lock handrails again. Look, our turn will continue like this. I want to show you how I can combine the rows and continue to the next row. Because we knitted a triple banister here, we finished directly in the corner. I will share with you how I assemble the next row and how I continue. I've come to the end. Look, we come to the 2 chain space here and knit our 3 handrails again. We had already knitted 3 of them in the beginning. Look, at this point I make a chain, and since I will continue one more row, I directly sink to the top of the banister here, remove the stitch and knit single crochet, and I get a gap of 2 chains. Look again, by making 1, 2, 3 chains like this, I come to the same space and knit 3 handrails. This is how I start, and we will continue in the same way. We will always knit our triple handrail groups and work entirely as double handrails. At the end of the row, we will pull 2 chains and sink to the top of the banister here and finish as I finished in pink. Look, when I move to the top row, I use a chain of the same color with single crochet. In this way, I start from the same point again. We get a montage square like this. See our recipe this way. I will also share with you how much I knitted. We created our circle here. 2 rows of blue, 2 rows of pink, 2 rows of yellow. Here we completed by knitting 3 rows of green, 3 rows of cream, and finally 3 rows of brown. Now I would like to briefly describe our other parts to you. Look, we have prepared 2 handles on the handle. I left some long threads at the ends to sew like this. Here I used 22 handrails to knit the side bellows. 22 handrails were enough for me. If you want to increase the size of the bag, you can play with these numbers. Now how do I do it here? This is the side bellows and handrail. Look, we are knitting handrails on the chain in 2 rows. Lastly, I added an extra single crochet here, just like in the original. Here I just knitted the handrail, pulled the chain, and knitted the handrails, thus extending my side bellows until it reached the size I wanted. For this reason, see how I start right now. I started and stopped. Within the 2 points, after drawing the first chain, I prepare my chains to the size I want. I used 137 handrails while preparing the handle. It is also worth noting that you may want to make the same numbers. Look here, I have drawn enough of my chain. I fill it to the beginning of the crochet hook. I turn my chain to the reverse part, not the straight part, 1, 2, 3 chain at the beginning. I leave it and dive into the 4th chain, remove the loop on the back dashed line and knit a double handrail. The back dashed line of the next chain is this double handrail. Am I knitting the handrails in this way? As many as you want. I knitted 22 handrails for the side bellows like this. You don't have to count chains. If you have leftover chain later, you can remove it by cutting or disassembling it. Now let's work with a small example to show you our 2, 4, 5 handrails. Now, after knitting the last handrail, I slightly stretch the stitch and turn my knitting directly. After knitting a single crochet directly into the first space that comes up, I draw a chain and see that I have created a handrail here. I sink into the next space and knit the banister again. We will knit 5 handrails again. And we will sink the last handrail here into the chain here, completing the total to 5. Look here again, I'm stretching the stitch slightly and turning my knitting. I make unchained turns to the first space that comes up, direct needle injection, 1 chain after single crochet and double handrail into the next space. A single crochet chain here gives us the banister. Now look, we are stuck in the last railing gap here. We knit the 5th handrail by sinking into the chain space after the single needle. In this way, we have completed our knitting with the handrail. While making the handle, look, I want to show it in detail once again. This is our starting point, a row of handrails, again another row of double handrails, and lastly, we finish the handle by knitting a row of single crochets. Look, we completed the handle in this way, starting with just the chain in our side blind. We have prepared a long piece like this with 22 handrails. Now let's move on to make them into a whole. Look here, I was knitting the side blind here. I continue knitting here. I did not break the thread. I leave it now. Look, I close the 2 motifs with the wrong parts facing each other. Now I will start from the end part. Let's find the straight part. Yes, this is the side. If you want, you can join it from the straight part or from the reverse part. I will join it from the reverse part. Look, I take the bellows right on this edge. Think about it like this. It will join from here, then look at the other side. The bellows will be here. The reason why I left it here is that it may be missing. I will do it by measuring. Sometimes the numbers may not coincide. If it is missing, I will knit it. If it is too much, I will leave it here. Look, I start from the point where I first started. We started from here. I close the flat part of the 2 with the flat part coming out. Since it is a square motif, I close it like this. In this part, I will start knitting again. I take a new thread. Here I am creating a loop with a chain. Let's leave it for a little while to hide it easily. We created a loop with a chain. I come to this point with the chain and sink into the 2 chain space of the motif. Let me show you like this. First, we will combine the first motif, then we will combine the other part. Once you understand the logic of combining, you can easily do it. We have removed the loop like this. We knit the short yarns with single crochet last. I sink into the next void, sink into the handrail gap here and knit again. Look, I'm doing the merging in reverse. I knit single needles by sinking into the banister here and into the corresponding spaces. I'll knit it a little bit and show you. Look, I'm sinking into both the blind and the motif. I hope it's obvious because my color is dark, but we're using a pretty simple technique anyway. We just combine it by making single crochet. Look, I'm going to knit a little like this. Let's show that we will have joined in this way. We are joining in reverse with single crochet. Now we will join from here. When we come to the corner, look at our village from here in a way that it will sit perfectly properly without getting stuck in the appropriate gaps. From here we will join it with single crochet. Single needle here again in a way that fits. Look at these 3 edges like this. Finally, we will do the joining on this edge. Look at the end of my yarn here. I continue knitting. If it's too much, I'll remove it. If it is missing, I will knit it. I'll decide that as I put this together, like I said. After combining this row, I will take the other motif. Again, look at it from the reverse side. We are joining this part again. Just like I joined the blind here from the reverse side, I will put the second motif on top and join it with single crochet in the same way. After passing a row of single crochet in the last small part, I will place my boxes and complete my bag. After joining the side blind of the bag, look, a row with 2.5 millimeters of crochet hook. I knitted the mouth part completely with single needle. I started from this edge part. I do this to collect it here tightly without holding my hand loosely with 2.5 millimeters of crochet hook. That is, 0.5 millimeter was lower. See, I will finish this point here. I started first, I moved to the point where the single needle is, and I made a chain in my thread here. I cut it out, and then I will pass this thread through the intermediate points and hide it inside last. Now at this stage I want to sew the stems. I will sew my stem with the help of an etamine needle. I want to show you the points I will sew. Look, as in the original, we have completed our motif by knitting it with brown in 3 rows. It will be on the inside of these parts like this. I sew my boxes in the same way at both points with the etamine needle in this way and complete our bag. We completed our bag by sewing it. Its width is 44 centimeters and its length is 40 centimeters. It was really easy and enjoyable to make. I hope you like it and try it. I wish good luck to those who will make it. Do not forget to like our video, leave a comment and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye until we see you in the next video.